This is Robert here to do our daily live and drive. Well, not daily. I occasionally take breaks, but we do it often enough. So today we are headed off to the shop, maybe do some meet and greet with a few people, and then we're doing the range today. So gonna go off to a local range, get some rounds off, do some range therapy as it were. And then after that, we'll probably go do some social media work later, get on and talk with you guys at the desk. But today, going to the range, hitting up the shop. There we go. Pop you up in there. Hey, Desert Armory, what's going on, man? Oh, no, we've done a few of those before. I noticed a lot of the content seems to improve when it is just focused on actually looking at gun parts and guns and whatnot. Oh, we're going to see if the range will let us do a little bit of recording later too. I know sometimes they're not okay with it. There's been some stupid people doing stupid stuff, but I'm hoping they'll let a business do it. Too many people trying to do some selfie stuff at the range ruined it for the rest of us. We could go out to the desert, but it's already too late, and by the time I get done doing some side work, it's going to be stupid hot. Probably going to go hit up Zona Tactical here in Tucson. We got a decent range set up. Easy to work with. And sometimes we occasionally let the staff or even just some other range goers shoot off some of our builds. Usually they're doing some testing, or today in my case, just doing some range therapy. Got to go out and just plug some holes into some paper once in a while. Work on the basics. Heck, already hump day, and it's already been a long week. Today I will be going off with one of the SM19 turbos and maybe something else. Maybe we'll hit a 17 too. And just gonna go to the range and plink. Yep, indoor range. Great for the summer. I prefer outdoor ranges personally just because there's a bit more freedom to move. I can do drills. I can just do a lot more on an outdoor range or going out into the desert. But indoor ranges, they definitely have their use for when it's too hot. They're also a gun store too, side by side. So one side is the gun store and the other side is the range. Oh, I'm gonna try and get some of them to carry some of our slides sometimes, but getting a hold of the owner is tricky. The employees seem to like them, but getting a hold of the owner, man. And that's pretty common with a lot of businesses, especially once the owner has kind of stepped away from, just regular day-to-day running. But the owners still make the decisions. Heck, someday Brian, he's gonna probably step away from machining at some point. Once we grow to a good point, we'll just focus on social media and design and production. Been years since you were in an indoor range. It was like 6 when I went to an indoor. Yeah, outdoor ranges are better. Some ranges have a lot of rules that make training difficult or make what you're trying to do difficult, and I definitely understand it. because they've had stupid people, which is what caused the rules to exist. There is an outdoor range that I used to like going to, but they have a rule against shooting in controlled pairs. And I learned how to shoot controlled pairs when I was in the Army. So sometimes it's just something I practice once in a while. And they have an issue with it. They're like, you're firing too fast. You can't be hitting the target. I'm like, would you like me to set up a new target and show you? Sure enough, rounds on target. But, yep, they had an issue with it. Also, they have an issue with any non-shoulder weapon. So, like if you have a pistol grip shotgun with no stock, because we had a Mossberg 500C that we wanted to go test fire. We had just picked it up. And I'm like, yeah, I just want to go put, 20 to 50 shells through it, make sure everything's running right. We had picked it up as a pre-owned weapon on consignment from a local gun shop. And they were like, well, you have to shoulder it. With what? There's no stock. Like, I'm just here to test fire it. I'm like, is there a specific range you would like me, do you have a lane that you'd like me to use this at? They're like, no, it has to be shouldered. Like, how would you like me to shoulder the shotgun that does not have a stock? It's just a pistol grip. Oh yeah, 500's a great one. And for anybody starting, I know some people crap on it, but the Maverick 88, nothing fancy, it just works. It's cheap, well, not cheap, but it's affordable, and it works. It runs. Keep it clean, keep it lubed, it'll go. Is the 500 better? Absolutely. Plus, I like the safety better on the 500 than the Maverick 88. But if you're just starting out, or you're looking for something, that just works and isn't fancy, yeah, Maverick 88. Getting a little bit higher, yeah, go with that 500. Sierra Vista Outdoor Range has 4 types of skeet. I have never shot skeet. We've attempted it a few times. We've gotten the clays and everything. I've never been to like an actual skeet range where it has the launcher and everything. Mostly we just threw it like a frisbee really high, and yeah, we got it. But I've never actually been to a skeet range. Oh, right on. I've debated doing some side work as an RSO from time to time, but end up busy doing my side work and busy doing working at the shop. Oh yeah, man, a freaking Benelli would be amazing. Marty McFly, love that name. Yeah, skeet shooting ought to be fun. We usually get the clays, we set them up on outdoor ranges. Well, usually when we're at the out in the desert. But yeah, we'll usually set them up outdoors and try and pick them off with a 5.56, or we'll have some kind of like some holders that you can stake down into the ground, so you can do some good pistol shooting 25 feet away or so. Ah, damn, that one didn't work. Oh, of course it didn't. What about you? There we go, that one's not bad. Since I'm gonna be parking for a minute, I'll show off a slide or something. Yeah, we'll just chill over here and relax for a minute while I go through my phone on some paperwork and emails, chat you guys up, and then we'll get back on the road again in a bit. Didn't really want to start my workday at 4 a.m., but I did, and it's going to allow me to go to the range today. Oh, heck yeah, and this one's 20% off this month. We're doing our Glocktober sale, so 15 to 20% off all strip slides. It's great. You know, I bet we will get someone who likes it for that, or maybe like a Bengals fan. I don't know, I think it looks kind of cool. We've also got another one that has crocodile green instead of orange. And that one looks pretty sweet. Reminds me of like an 80s action movie, like Arnold Schwarzenegger putting the freaking camo paint on his face. Stiffler's dad in YouTube chat years ago. Hey, Green Hood Smoke, what's going on? Oh, I feel like my car is a partial office. Let's see, 8.0, and then we have today. There we go. Okay, let's throw that there. But yeah, we'll be doing a little bit of range therapy. I'm taking one of the, man, I wish I could show it, but if I was at my desk, it'd be a lot easier. But we'll be taking the SM19 Turbo. Let's see. Maybe I can. Maybe I can show a little bit of it off. And I actually carry this, so let's pop this off for a second. And flop. There we are. So I actually carry this on a regular basis. And so if people think that, you know, Stiffler employees and ourselves don't actually carry our own product, I do. I've got the frame down here right now. I just can't show it. But I'm taking this to the range today to get some rounds through it. Gonna have some fun with it. But yeah, we actually carry our own slides daily. I mean, I wouldn't recommend people do it until they actually train with it. You know, check it out, test it, get it out at the range. But yeah, this is what I'm taking to the range today. Maybe a few others. I don't know. I like it. I'm comfortable carrying it. Do we make Gen 17, Gen 5 17 slides? No, we make Gen 3s, but you can fit the Gen 3 on a Gen 5. So what you basically have to do is change out the back plate, and then there might need to be a little bit of finagling with your recoil spring assembly because the Gen 4 and 5 changed the recoil spring assembly. You might need an adapter for the front. And then because the Gen 5 is ambidextrous, some people swap out the slides lock release and some people don't. So you're going to have that additional groove on the other side. Some people change it out, some people don't. Yeah, with the dust cover. Yeah. Oh, guy waving at me. Oh, he might come over talking to me. So, do I know this guy? Maybe. I don't know. But yep, this is what I'll be taking in today. And I have beaten the... Well, I couldn't say I've beaten the crap out of it like some others. But I have smacked around this optic quite a bit. And it's still running just fine. Still doing just great. I'll probably put... Oh, you know what? I forgot to put some of Ghost Dad Tactical's lube in my bag. I'll probably have to use some regular gun oil this time around. But for those of you that haven't checked out Ghost Dad, he's got some lube that smells good. So like the one I picked up was Ecto Lube, and it smells like green apples. So I'd say keep it away from your kids and your animals, you know. But it runs great. Seems to work just fine. Gen 319, been looking for a good slide on the lower budget, probably, hey, right on. Yeah, ours range from 145 to 285, depending on whether or not you get a strip slide or a complete slide and which model you get it in. But we're also doing 15 to 20% off this entire month because it's Glocktober. So like this, even a camo slide, 15% off. All the just standard black slides, those are 20% off. Right on, Desert Armory. You have a good one, man. 1990, what's going on? Let's see here. Hey, Flying Rich, how you doing? All right, what did I put down here? Okay. Too easy. We'll chill here for a bit before I get back on the road. Chat you guys up, then you can watch me driving around. But yep, doing range day today. Dylan, what's going on, man? Doing range day today with our turbo. This is what I actually, for those of you just joining us, this is actually what I carry on a regular basis besides my Gen 5 19. So I'm going to take this to the range and get some range therapy in. FV Ordnance, what's going on, man? Oh, thank you, Rich. Yeah, this is one of my daily carries. She got a little bit of use in her. I should probably clean her a little better. But it'll run. It'll run perfect. Instructor George, what's going on, man? Yep, gonna get some range therapy in today. Blow a few hundred rounds through this. Then go hit the shop again. Go play around with the Siley optic a little bit more too. And I've dropped it, I've smacked it around, and it runs fine, just like the Gideon. If I can get my friend to give me back the Gideon, I might just end up buying another one. Oh, you put 500 through yours yesterday? Right on. Okay, yeah, honestly, what we're thinking about doing, I'm not so sure on the barrel, but on the parts kits, because we get our parts kits through SCT Manufacturing. I'm not answering that. We get our parts kits through SCT Manufacturing, and I don't know. There's been some QC issues as of late, and we're thinking about maybe switching to another company. So we're going to do some research and see if, hey, stuff happens. Maybe this is just a one-time thing. But customers, this is America. Customers, being the people that they are, think it's the carrier, the slide. And we've done a few tests with some people who've changed a few kits out, and we've changed a few kits out. And it seems like some of the UPKs are not fully in spec. So, I don't know. Maybe we're going to have to go with something else. The price is great, and we have not really had any issues. Besides SCT's locking block on the 17, we have had some issues with that. So, besides that, the UPK is running great. The LPKs are running great, but it seems like there's a few issues that some people are having, and I don't know. Maybe we'll explore additional parts kits for our completes. Hey, Practical Civilian, what's going on, man? Siley compared to brand name, it runs great. I've put 800 to 1,000 rounds through this particular optic. I've beaten it on stuff. I have dropped it on the ground from chest height, concrete, wood, gravel, dirt, and still keeps running. No issues. I'd also recommend Gideon optics if you guys haven't checked them out yet. The extractor looked good. It was primer sensitive. I tried it on a Gen 2, 3, and 4. Okay. There we go. Pass on the barrel. Yeah, the barrel's from ELD Performance. It's a 416R stainless steel, black nitride coated. I wouldn't say it's like a match barrel or anything, or a super expensive barrel. It's like a $40 barrel. But we're thinking about switching to a different parts kit, and I don't know. I'm not sure who we could go with Glock OEM. That's more expensive. If we do go with Glock OEM, people are gonna have to expect a price increase, which is something we've been trying to avoid, is price increases. So that said, I wonder if they'd be okay if us going with our parts kits now include Glock OEM. That's why it's the price increase. But we also have to get the funds to buy Glock OEM, and then people have to buy them, and it's a whole thing. Plus, then we have to run through all of the remaining SCT parts kits we have. So it's a whole discussion that we're going to have, and then we also might have to just talk to SCT and be like, hey, we've had a few issues. Marksman line or professional grade? Yeah, I mean, it's understandable from our perspective, George, but from a customer perspective, I get some of the, and I'm sure Flying Rich does too, and FE Ordnance, you used to run your own shop too, right? So some of the complaints you get are the most nonsensical BS I've ever seen. And that's just the nature of any kind of customer service industry, especially when there are a lot of new shooters, a lot of new builders who are just getting into it and are just buying, gun parts for the first time and modifying things for the first time. Hey, thanks, Dave. Appreciate you stopping by. Like with Flying Rich and DLD After Dark, I'm sure they've gotten some crazy comments when it comes to definition knives and when them selling knives and stuff. And, back in the day when I used to do customer service in management and stuff, the stupidest complaints I would receive. So that doesn't change regardless of the industry. You could be selling cars, you could be selling squirt guns, you could be selling gun parts. It doesn't matter. You could be selling sandwiches. The stuff you will get. And I think part of the issue is we spent 50 to 70 years of telling people if you bitch, whine, and moan enough, corporate America will fillet you off like no other to make you happy. And that's not quite the same with this industry. Yeah, people make mistakes. Stuff happens. And with anything machined, stuff can be an issue. So if there is an issue, we're so happy to fix it because that's a problem. We're happy to take care of it. And then, of course, then we have to go talk to our supplier and be like, hey, man, customers are having an issue with this. You guys might need to check, your QC line and see what's going on and get all that stuff fixed. Like on one, I know there was a batch. I was talking to another company. Not going to name drop because that was a private conversation. But they said it's well enough known that we can talk about it. I'm just not going to name drop them. Is that recoil spring assemblies? There are some that have been popping out a little too short from various suppliers. And so they're causing them, and I don't mean like short where it just falls out. It'll still fit in, but then it's just a little loose, like it wobbles, like it doesn't connect fully. And there's been some that have gotten out in production that people are finding out, and it's so frustrating because something like that we don't produce, we don't make it, so we have to rely on the manufacturer. And I can't open 1,000 recoil springs and measure them all from their packaging every single time we do an order. So you kind of have to hope. And then if you find a customer who has an issue, just like, okay, yeah, return it and we will, mail it back, or not even mail it back. Sometimes we'll just mail a new one out. It's not worth the time mailing the old one back. But maybe we need to start collecting, if something like that starts happening, maybe we need to start collecting them. Yeah, just mail it back. We'll pay for postage. And then, hey, SCT or wherever we've got the stuff from, be like, hey, here's a bunch of short ones we're having an issue with. We're going to send them back to you and hopefully get replacements. And I've talked with a few other companies where they've had issues like that too. There was a couple of years back, these brass colored firing pins that were popping around everywhere, and they were really brittle. And so they would snap and they'd crack and they'd chip off at the tip. But they were cheap, and a lot of companies got them because you were able to order 1,000 of them at a good rate, or tens of thousands of them, and then people were using them, and they'd work great in some builds, and then other builds crack, done. And so people ended up spending more money replacing those firing pins than they ended up making off selling them. Which I wish I could say we could make our own firing pins and stuff. We're just not set up for that. All we do is the slides. So, recoil spring, we don't do it. Barrel, we don't do it. Parts kit, we don't do it. Just the slide. Besides the barrel, though, how did the 500 rounds go? Because I think we sent you a Turbo 17, right? Let's see, what am I going to switch you to today? I'm going to switch you to... Oh, yeah, we switched that one later in the line. So if you get an early model, like a 2000 or a 2023 Stiffler slide, they still have the rectangular slot. But we ended up switching to a modified Gen 5 firing pin hole. So the Gen 5 has kind of like that reverse teardrop. And so we switched to a rounded hole. And we did some testing on it, and it works with both Gen 3 and Gen 5 firing pins. And it seems to be working out pretty good. And let's see if I can show that to you guys. Oh, lost my recoil spring. There we go. There we are. Hey, work in progress. What's going on, man? There you are. All right. But yep, got my range bag and everything with me, and I'll be hitting up the shop in a little while. I got a few sites to hit today, and got to go talk to some people and do some side work, make some extra cash. But then I'm going to hit the shop, and we're going to go to the range. Okay, just polish the barrel up a little bit. Do you have to file anything off? Because I know they're cheaper barrels. I mean, they're like $40 barrels. I wouldn't expect. I mean, this is one of them right here. This is an ELD performance barrel. Got a little wear to it. Shot it up a bit, but she runs fine. To manufacture just the slides? No, we don't. If we were doing frames and if we were assembling, we would need an FFL. The striker spring is a little light. That's what made the primer sensitive. Okay. Barrel to slide fit was fine. All right. That's what I've been looking for is... I trust FV Ordnance to do a better review than some of the other collaborators that we've done with. He has a lot more experience and goes to the range far often, does competitions. We've done some collabs with other people, and they have not communicated with us any issues. And if there has been issues, some of them just tells, yeah, man, it runs freaking flawlessly. Like G23 did one recently and with one of our Zoom slides, and he's like, yeah, there's no problems with it whatsoever. It works perfectly. Whereas we got another one recently where he had a problem, but didn't tell us about it. Like, we were working with him on it, and then he's like, hey, I'm going to do this. Never updated us on results. And then just proceeded to talk trash about it for a minute. But it's not about the slide, just about the parts kit, which is one of the reasons we're considering swapping parts kits. Is we've had a few people mention issues. Not like a lot of people, just a few. And... it's some cause for concern that we're willing to look into the issue a lot more and see if there's, you know, some response we can get from the people we get them from, and see how they'd like to address it, and see if we can find a better product down the road. The chamber looked like a monkey machined it, but it's gone now. I need a two-piece Glock frame. Or I seen a two-piece Glock frame. Aluminum, I need to check price. Okay. Oh yeah, you do that for the government, right? Humvees and LMTVs and things like that. And for those of you wondering about Cerakote wear, yes, it does happen. This is some holster wear you can see right here along the grip serration. And then, of course, just shooting it, the undercarriage, you are going to get, you know, some wear. But by and large, the exterior will remain good for quite some time. You know, unless you're dropping it and you're doing a lot of holster training. Yeah, I'd like to get a Shadow sometime. Get a Shadow Systems. Just to do some testing and playing around with it. Oh, I also got to check up in the shop today to see how our progress is on making this latest edition of the 26. And see if we're going to test that to the range anytime this week or next week. But we're making some slow progress on the 26. Getting there slowly but surely. Helmet hats and strikers. Oh, right on. They could put a bit more cushion in the Humvees. Not that I have to sit in one anymore. Wish I could show you guys the full build, but YouTube would have a conniption if I did. Ah, well. Today we'll be going off with some Blazer and some of this. Let me know if you've shot in any of this before. Some Scorpio. DB, what's going on, man? Hit or miss with this. Maybe 5 to 10 rounds. And we've tested this on different firearms as well. Ruger, Glock OEM. We had a Smith & Wesson, and then, of course, our clones. And just between 5 and 10 rounds, light strike on the primer. Not light strike. Positive strike on the primer doesn't go off. However, recharge the weapon and then strike again, and then it does go off. So maybe just an issue with the primers. And then, of course, we had, you know, Blazer and MagTech and Winchester next to it, no problems. But it just seems like every box, 5 to 10 rounds or so. Which, I mean, if you're just plinking at the range, you know, that's fine. Go away, tweaker. Simex? I've seen some Scorpion, but I haven't tried it. Yeah, we got it pretty cheap. So that's why we picked a bunch of it up. And since we're only doing testing with it, you know, we don't really care, because we like to test it alongside multiple different ammos. Yoki, Blazer, Federal, Remington. Yeah. We used to do, what was it, Aguilar? Something. We used to do that a lot, because that was cheap and available. But then it stopped being so cheap and so available. All right, we're going to get back on the road. So I got to go off to my next area here. Let's see, there we go. Heck, maybe I'll go through the car wash. No, I gotta go and check on different properties and see if there's any maintenance concerns and things like that. Sometimes lights are out, just some side work I do. Lights are out, get them documented, and if we have the bulbs and stuff on hand, I'll go and fix it. Leaky spigots, stuff like that. Especially after a storm, I gotta go and check on trees, make sure nothing needs to be cut up. One of multiple jobs. I have multiple different jobs. I'd love to work in the machine shop full-time, doing admin work and working on the machines and deburring slides and, you know, doing all that stuff. But, you know, unless people were buying a few slides every single day, that's not going to pay all the bills. And on the road again. Look at that beautiful blue sky. Right on. Thank you so much. And let us know more how you're doing with range testing. Yeah, I've done a lot of different kinds of work. Managed stores, private security. Of course, I was in the military for a while. Worked as a legal assistant, secretary work, admin clerk type work. Worked for the government for a little while. Separate from the military, so I worked military and government for a little while. Did some basic electrical and demolition work. A lot of private security, to be honest, because it just paid better for a while there. And it's stupid easy. Like, hey, tweaker, stay away from the fenced-in yard or get shot. Hey, Suresh Nagar, if I pronounced that correctly. Welcome. Most of us are American. It is 82 degrees, almost 9 a.m. here in Arizona. And apologies if you are asking a question and I can't get to it immediately, because I am driving at the moment. But feel free to ask any questions, make any comments, and I'll get to them the moment I can. Try to answer everything for you. For those of you new, welcome to Stiffler Manufacturing. We make slides for Generation 3, Glock 19, Glock 17, and we are finishing work on the Glock 26. Hopefully to have that soon before the end of the year. Hey, Omar, how you doing, man? And of course, later I'll be going to the range. I'm hoping to take some range footage if they'll let me. It's an indoor range, so they have some rules about it, but I'm hoping as a business they'll let us record some of it. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It depends on kind of how packed they are, how many people they got in the range at the time. Because there's been some people who have absolutely ruined it. They decided to do some dumb stuff with their phone while shooting was going on, and that's a huge no-go. Yay! Yep, the combat cut is with the irons in the front of it. We don't make one like that. Oh, I've been to C2 Tactical up in the Phoenix area, right? Hell yeah, DB. You got to get some range time in. Get that range therapy. It's a real thing, honestly. It helps. Just de-stress, relax, get some basic marksmanship in. Hell yeah. Go out to the desert when we can and, you know, do some crazy training. Go do some sprints and then go shoot a target. Go do Mozambique drills, things like that. Oh, do they have one in Tucson? I need to look around for more ranges. We hit up Zona just because it's close and it's available. It's clean, the staff is friendly. Mostly it's proximity. They're close. I mean, there's probably other ranges, but they're close. We're also looking up at a new gun shop, new FFL. Well, it's not new. They've been in FFL for like 3 years. But they're opening up a shop next month, and like a physical location, and I probably can't say too much more about it yet. I need to go get, hey, have a good one, DB. Need to go get some permission and get some details before I just start talking about it. But we'll probably maybe be at that gun shop next month, and for any Tucson cats, I would definitely say, hey, come and drop us a visit. So I'll release some more info as I get more info, and sometime in November we might actually be at that shop talking about slides and talking to customers and talking to the store staff and whatnot. Yeah, the last time I was at C2, it was up in the Phoenix area. I forget where exactly, maybe Tempe, but we went and, oh man, we shot a lot of different guns. No, yeah, oh man, it's been a long time then, because this was before Stiffler Manufacturing even started. I was up there with some troops I served with. There was also a group of Arizona National Guardsmen there, and we were kind of going as a group, and everybody was just bringing their own personal stuff to shoot, and we took up multiple lanes. And I got to shoot a 1911 in 38 Super, and that was so cool. Heck yeah. Go get some car wash done. You guys can all take a shower with me. Make sure all my windows are up. Well, I figure at this rate, I'll probably hit the range at about noonish. Man, it's not, and I'd love to go buy a 1911 and 38, but they're not cheap. You're looking at spending well over $1,000. And a lot of them are like a lot of the ones you do find are really stylized. They've been engraved. They've got like gold style finishes on them, and it's like I just want a regular 1911 in 38 Super. I don't need all the fancy, you know, engravings and stuff on them. Yeah, possibly. I know some people crap on Rock Island, but you know the price is good and their stuff seems to work. It's just, you know, it's hard to drop over $1,000 on a pistol for me when I could go buy a rifle. I don't know. It's like when I see what am I? I'm forgetting the name. That freaking Pit Viper from I'm forgetting the name of the company right now. But they want like $5 to $8 grand for a pistol, and I'm like, I can't justify the cost for a pistol. I just can't. Terran Tactical. It's cool looking. I'm sure it runs great. I just can't justify the cost. Like, there's so much cool stuff I could go buy with $8 grand. But that said, you know, John Wick made it popular. So it's never going down in price. Oh, let's see. Oh, I'm getting a bunch of notifications blowing up. There we go. Pit Viper 7600, Sand Viper 9 grand. See, yeah, no, I can't. I'd rather put that money towards getting, you know, a Barrett. And that's like 13 grand last I checked, and that was a few years ago. It's probably more expensive now. But at $3 to $5 a round, I definitely need the extra funds. Kimber 2011 Platypus. Or no, Kimber 2011 and then 2011 Platypus. Never fired the 2011. We've occasionally debated making a 1911 slide, but I'm not sure if the market is really that interested in another one. 1900, holy crap. Oh, that beautiful blue Arizona sky. And it's only 74 degrees. Feels great. Do I want to stay in this lane or do I want to get over? Oh yeah, I'd go for the semi. So yeah, instead of spending 9 grand on a Sand Viper, I'd go put that towards a frickin' Barrett. I can get gas tomorrow. SIG GTO 2300. The only SIG, actually no, that's not true. I fired a SIG 365. I fired a 320, and there's another one, the SIG Legion. I've done that. But that's about it on my SIG knowledge. And the 320, well, it was the M17, so I shot that with the Army. The only issue we had with the 17 at the time was that a lot of the rear sight plates would fly off, and that made sense at the time because SIG was probably expecting the Army to actually put the optics on them. Of course, the Army wasn't going to put the optics on the SIG. Why would they give some random low enlisted troop, even some officers, an optic for their pistol? So the armorers were literally just Loctited it down. They put it back on with new screws, Loctited the shit out of it, and there you go. The Army wanted a modular handgun to never use its modular ability. Which, you know, is just so Army. That is definitely them. Like, hey, we know we got you this cool gear and this cool equipment. You're never allowed to use it. Oh, is that movie ever come out? I don't think I saw it. The ballerina John Wick movie? Or prequel movie, or whatever. Now we're just going through some construction. I mean, yeah, if I had a crap ton of money, you know, if money was no concern of mine, sure, yeah, I'd probably get one. But here we are making slides from at 145 to 285 to set people up with builds. And our competitors, you know, in comparison, are doing 300 to like 600 on stripped slides. And it's like, we know we're low end on the hobby. There's way more expensive stuff out there. And there's stuff cheaper than ours too, but I mean, you're looking at like 416 junk if you go cheaper than Stiffler. Like, our stuff is affordable, but good. If you go with cheaper slides than us, you're stepping into 416R territory, and you're looking at some really janky, Not to say there's not some good 416 slides out there. There are. It's just less you can do with them. They're not as hard steel. They're less corrosion resistance. Yeah, exactly, for $7,500. Or you can put all that money towards a lot of training. Get a bunch of ammo, targets and stuff, and just train. One common thing we still get is, hey, if I get your ported slide and put a ported barrel in, is it going to make me a better shooter? No. It's a tool you can utilize. Porting or compensate, you know, ported barrels, compensators, it's a tool. It can make things easier, but it's not going to make you a better shooter. Only training is going to make you a better shooter. There's no widget, gadget, whatever that's going to make you better. It's just practice. Well, this month is the month for it. All of our slides are 15 to 20% off if you're looking for a stripped. And if you ever have any problems with it, like, we'll help you troubleshoot your build. We got a whole process for it that we go through. Sometimes we accept a slide back through, and we were helping a guy out with his others the other day, and he couldn't figure it out. We swapped out the extractor on it and ran great. He was just having an issue with the extractor by the looks of things. Exactly. A 50K pistol that's in your safe does not make you a better marksman at all. Like, people might want to shit on High Point. But like a dude out there training with his yeet cannon is going to be better than somebody with a pit viper that just sits in the safe. Plus, you could always just get the stiff viper. Get our viper slide. Oh, I wonder, who should we consider? Like, if we had to add another parts kit. Because right now we're using SCT Manufacturing. If we had to add another parts kit that's not Glock OEM, what would you guys think? Like, what company would you guys think of? It's the stupidest stop sign ever. I'm fairly certain it's actually just to slow down traffic. Oh, I've seen some of his videos. He's good. And to be honest, I need to go to the range and shoot more. Because a lot of our range, like it's just testing. Like, we're not working on marksmanship. We're not working on technique. So when we went to the desert last month, and we started running drills, it was just like, oh man, we have not done this in so long. And we actually forgot to take videos with the slides. We were just doing training. I don't think Zev and Grey Ghost make their own part. Maybe they do. I don't think they make their own parts kits, though. I know they make slides. And they actually use the same steel we do. We've all used 17.4 stainless. There is 17.7 stainless, and it is technically better, but it is much more expensive. And I'm not sure customers are going to be willing to actually pay, as well as our distributors and vendors are going to be willing to pay the price increase. 17.4 is the way to go. The striker spring was too tight for Ghost. Well, it looks like a lot of the viewership's died off. Sometimes the drive videos, I get a lot of people. Sometimes I get very few. But that's okay. We'll probably cut it in a bit once I hit the hour mark. Oh, too light. Oh, too light, not too tight. I'll probably cut it at the hour mark, and I'll get some more work done, and then I'll head off and go to the range and try and take some videos. As well as go into the shop, too. Maybe I'll try and get Miss Stiffler on a live with me. We could listen to her rant and rave. There we go. Let's find a nice place to pull in that's not staring me in the sun. That ought to be nice. There we are. So we are going to go to the range later. There we are, nice and parked. I don't think we could do the M&P 2.0. So we are going to be doing this one here. This is our SM19 Turbo. I actually carry this on a regular basis. And so I'm going to be shooting this today. But the M&P, I don't think we can do it because I think it's still under patent, at least until 2034. Because patents are usually good for about 20 years, unless it gets extended. So I don't think we can touch the M&P 2.0 until the patent expires. Still so smooth. I watched the PSR and gun drummer video. I would expect an increase of those soon. Okay. .22 TXM. But yep, that's what we'll be doing today. Gonna go hit the range, probably dump, 2, 3, 500 rounds, and go hit the shop today too. And then I'll probably hit the live again later. Let's see, we had DLD After Darks live last night. For those of you guys who don't know him, check him out. If you are pro-gun, anti-ATF, pro-Christian, his is a good channel. Also along with Flying Rich Firearms, Red Dawn Readiness, John Crump News, good guys. Oh, trying out the FRT? I'd like to get an FRT just for... I've watched people shoot ours with this, and they work great. There was another guy, he put in a 40-round extended magazine with one of our Viper slides and just ran it, and it was awesome. You're a dirty girl. I need to clean you. Yeah. Yeah, I need to clean you. But yep, that's probably where... Hey, green good. That's probably where I'll have to cut it, and I'm going to get back to work, and then we'll head off to the shop and go head off to the range. I'm afraid of those soon as they switch to saying no again. They want to come... Yeah. The ATF should be a store, not a freaking... They try to be a regulatory agency. They try to be legislative, and they're not. And that's probably what's most annoying. If they were just law enforcement and that's all they focused on, I'd be all about it. But they're not. They try to make their own rules as they go. And that's what's most frustrating. Some kind of dust up in there. Yeah. But all right, I'll catch you guys later. I got to go get some work done, and then I'll hopefully have some videos for you guys on our YouTube and Instagram about the range, if I'm lucky. I'm hoping they'll let us do it, but we'll see. So thank you so much, and as always, stay 2A every day.